Alright, so our bread has now risen for about an hour and a half after that third stretching bowl. Here it is. As you can see, it's pretty much grown to its full capacity, or there's still quite, it's not gone floppy or anything, so that's good. What we're going to do now is we're going to shape it. It's very helpful to have something like this called a banneton to proof your bread in before it bakes in the oven, because it helps it keep its shape. Otherwise you can use a bowl with a tea towel, that can work also, but this is just a little bit less faff. So I've dusted my counter with some flour, I've got my spatula, I'm going to wet. I'm just going to peel the bread away from the sides of the bowl. Tip it onto the counter. So this is where the shaping starts. It's helpful to have some flour on your fingers. At this stage we use flour rather than water, so as you can see this dough has quite a lot of air in it. We're knocking some of that out because we're shaping it, but because we're going for a rustic, uneven pocketed bread, we don't want to push out too much air, so we'll just kind of flatten it a little bit, keeping my fingers floured. So now I'm going to start what Dayton does, which is a middle fold of the dough. And you just pull the outside in like this, give it a bit of a pat to kind of seal it. So here, so that's just one round of that. As you can see, you can sort of move it around a little bit. You can do that again somewhat. Just to kind of tighten, because what you're doing here is you're tightening the skin on the outside of the bread. Create some surface tension, which then means that you have a smooth looking bread that also rises in the oven. So that's a pretty good amount of stretching and sort of tensing there. Now, because we're putting it in a banneton and it's a wet dough, we are going to have to make a little bit more surface tension. So this is a technique I've sort of come up with that used to be how we did baguette dough when I worked at the bakery. So I fold it over like this, and then I just press to seal around the edge like that. And I turn it, and you see you've got a seam like that. Okay, so we've done it one way. I'm now going to do it the other. Again, folding in half, pressing down. You can hear the sort of bubbles popping, and you can hear it as it kind of sticks together. As you push down on the counter, you get that seal going. Okay, so we've got fairly decently shaped dough there, and as you can see, it's holding its shape. We'll get back to that. Okay, so it's holding its shape fairly well. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it's hard to get a full round in this way, but all in all, I'm pretty happy. I could keep going, but I don't want it to split really. My instinct tells me I could probably handle one more little pinch like this. Decide what you're doing. Okay, I'm going to leave it like that. We've got our banneton. I've dusted this banneton with flour. Always dust it a little bit more. You don't want your bread sticking to your banneton. I'm just pinching it around to kind of even out the seams. This is going to be the bottom of your bread, so you don't have to worry too much. Delicately lift it up, place it in your banneton with the seam on the top, like this. Now that this bread is fairly active, it's going to grow quite fast, and because I want to slow down the growth just a little bit to develop a bit more flavour to the bread, I'm going to cover it. Now I'm going to put it in the fridge. I put flour on there so it doesn't stick to anything. This is actually what can be used inside the banneton as a canvas liner to proof your bread in. I like to have the rim effect of the volatile, so I just use it as a cover rather than inside. And then so I'll just do that like that. And I'll put this in the fridge, and it'll stay in the fridge. I think I'll probably leave it for about at least 4 to 6 hours maybe. Till it's grown back to about 2/3 of its full size, and that's when we'll bake it.